Hello, Joy Readers. This is a review of the book, The Correspondent. Now, I usually don't give a review of a book unless I give it 4 or 5 stars. But I'm going to break my own rule and do a review of this book, The Correspondent by Virginia Evans. And the couple of reasons why I'm going to do it. One, it is a New York Times bestseller book. And I figure it must be some good, right? But here again, I followed the popular readers and read this book because I was looking for something on the New York Times bestseller list. And I thought, okay, I think I found it. So the book is correspondence in the form of emails, letters, sometimes text, and sometimes phone calls. But it's all correspondence. And so, therefore, the title, right? And this is the first book that I've ever written. Actually, I listened to it on audio that was like that. I mean, there have been some books where they have a lot of letters and in them, and those are sometimes very interesting. But this is all correspondence. Spoiler alert, sorry. All of it is that way. Now, one of the things you have to figure is, does she really allow you to know the characters with this form of writing that she does? And I would say probably yes and no. Sometimes I had to kind of go back and listen to it again to figure out, is that her sister she's talking about, her sister-in-law? Is it her son, her brother? Who exactly is she talking about in that? She does have some recurring characters in her story. Her sister-in-law, who is her best friend, and this young boy that she befriends, and he really befriends her, and they form a relationship, which is different for her, really and truly. She's a lawyer by trade, and she has a very stoic sort of personality, stubborn personality, and she wants to do what she wants to do. So I did try to find a couple of things that I liked about the book. And one of the things I liked about the book is you can learn about the mistakes that other people make and decide, I'm not going to make those mistakes, okay? Especially people who are getting into the later seasons of their life. This comes a time when you got to stop making mistakes like that because you're going to be out of here pretty soon. And so her life is one of those lives where there's some very significant things that she did earlier in her life that affected the middle and later parts of her life. And I believe some of those things could have been remedied early, but she waited until later. I will not give that away. So you can learn about somebody else's life by the mistakes and that's the way I prefer to do it, right? The second thing I liked about the book is that you can learn what things are better for you in the later seasons of your life. And some of those things you can start early. And one of the things that she had issues with was relationships. That's very important as you age, is to have some really good friendships and good family relations. You're going to need those people in your later years, and you want to be able to have good relationships with them. And that cannot be built. You can't start that in your 70s. You got to start that earlier in your life. So like I said, a couple of things of life lessons that, can learn. There are many other life lessons that are in the book, which may be a good reason too. I like books with a happy ending. This sort of had a neutral and a sort of kind of happier ending than it really, could have been, because it could have ended disastrously. But she did have some happy things happen to her later in her life. I just think that could have come much earlier. And so anyways, kudos to the people who love it. It's on the New York Times bestseller list, like I said. So somebody enjoys it, somebody likes it. Okay, great. I give it a 3. So what do you think?